Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today our topic is tools of cooperative learning. In the classroom there can be different kinds of activities. Some activities require students to work individually, and in some activities they have to compete against one another. There are winners and losers. Some students win and some students do not. Whereas the third kind of activity or interaction that is possible in the classroom is cooperative, where they have to cooperate with one another in order to be successful. And today we are going over cooperative learning. Let's look at some of the elements that are required for any group activity to become cooperative learning. The first element that is required is positive interdependence. Students should be put in a situation where they have to depend on one another for success, so that the situation requires them to cooperate and learn together. So one way of doing this is giving them one worksheet that they have to share, one writing material, one pencil, one pen, one paper, so that they have to work together to be successful in the activity. The second element is individual and group accountability. No one in the group should have a free ride. Everyone should contribute, should work for the success of the whole group. The third is face-to-face interaction. Teachers should make sure that the students are sitting in close vicinity so that they can easily interact with one another without raising their voice and without feeling uncomfortable. The next is social skills. We all know that when the students have to work together, they need to learn some social skills. Taking turns, sharing material, disagreeing in agreeable ways. These are some of the social skills that the teacher will have to teach them systematically, one at a time, and give them opportunity for using and applying these skills in group work. The last one is processing. At the feedback time, teacher will make sure that she or he takes feedback not only of the content of the academic targets, but also of the social targets that were set for the task. The skills that they were required to practice, whether they actually practiced those skills or they were fighting for the material or they were not able to disagree in positive ways. So all these 5 elements are necessary for any group work to be cooperative learning. Now let's look at some of the tools. The first one is Circle the Sage. Now in this activity or in this cooperative learning tool, students who understand a concept or who can perform a particular skill are selected as sages to model for their peers. So these are students who are a little, you can say, above in the understanding of a particular topic, and they feel that they have understood well. They become the sages, and then students gather around the sages to learn. So these sages are placed at different places in the classroom, and the rest of the students, they gather around different sages and learn from their friends. Afterwards, students return to teams to share ideas. A variation might be to have students rotate from one sage to another in order to practice listening for information, or to have students, that is sages, give oral presentations on a topic. The second tool is a very common tool, Think, Pair, Share. In this, the participants or the members, they think alone around any topic that has been assigned to them. Then they pair up and they share what they have been thinking alone, and then they share whatever they agree with together with the whole class. So this is an activity that can be done at any time in your class. Think, pair, share. The next tool is corners. Students select or are assigned to a corner where they interact with other students. This might be a useful way to have students give presentations. So previously we had put the stages in different places in the classroom. Over here, students move to different corners, and probably you will assign different topics to those corners, and they discuss and talk about those that particular topic, the one that has been assigned to them, and they will discuss and talk about that particular topic. The next tool is in circle, out circle. You can divide the class into two equal halves and form two circles. The in circle, the students in the in circle will face outside, while the students in the outside circle will face inside, and they will talk about the assigned topic. This I have used for revision, and it works excellently. Students are assigned topics to revise. They memorize, they revise, and they clarify the concept that had been assigned to them. Then they stand in these circles, and then they share the information that they have learned with their friends. Once the teacher signals that the assigned time is over, the out circle moves to the right, and now they have a new partner. The new partner has some new information, and the information is exchanged. You can even assign that who is going to speak. In the first round, the in circle speaks and the out circle listens. And then the out circle speaks and the in circle listens. After this activity, you can take some kind of assessment. You can give a worksheet, MCQs, to assess whether all the concepts that they were supposed to revise in these concentric circles, were they successful or not. The next is numbered heads. Students are put into teams of 4 or 5, and each student is assigned a number from 1 to 4 or 5. The teacher asks a question and students huddle, that is, heads together, to discuss the answer. The teacher picks a card or randomly says a number. The first numbered student to provide the correct response wins a point for the team. So each team has 1 to 5, and teacher calls out a number, and from all the groups, for example, the teacher says number 3, so from all the groups, number 3 is responsible for answering that question, and they have to be quick. So the first person who answers the question wins a point. The same can be done in this way, that you can develop a tally chart on the board, and then you can tick different columns, group A, number 1, group B, number 3, and that person will have to answer. So this can be another more organized way of seeking answers. The next is one stray. Students complete a task in groups or revise a topic in groups. The teacher calls a number, and the student with that number strays or goes to another team to share information. So again, cooperation, they are learning in their groups, and then they go to another group to teach them what they have learned. The next very interesting activity is graffiti. Each group is assigned a topic and a sheet of paper or chart paper is given to each group. They generate ideas and write on the paper. For example, you want them to write an essay. So each group is assigned a different essay which is written on the top of the sheet. So they sit together and generate ideas. After a fixed time, the sheets are passed to the next group. Each group now generates ideas on the new topic. This continues until each group gets their sheet back. And of course, when they will get back their sheets, there will be several ideas written on those sheets. Each group then writes an essay or they write a summary using the points on the sheet. This is a very useful activity and I have used it at different levels in teacher training as well as with the students, and I've used it with class 1 students as well. That's all for today. Jazakallah. See you all next time. Allah Hafiz.